Right now, 12 different organs are working together to keep you alive. Your heart has already beaten 20 times since this video started. Your brain is using more energy than your laptop. And one organ in your body can regrow itself even if 75% of it is destroyed. Today, we audit the human machine, including the hidden parts most people ignore. Thymus. Among those organs, deep inside your chest, there is a small organ called the thymus. Between your lungs and just above your heart, the thymus is soft and looks like a butterfly. In childhood, this tiny organ does an extremely important job. Inside this organ, special white blood cells called T cells slowly grow and mature. During this process, they learn how to recognize dangerous threats inside your body. You can imagine the thymus as a military academy for your immune defense system. However, after puberty, the thymus slowly starts to shrink. Scientists call this process involution. Over time, much of the thymus is gradually replaced by fatty tissue. With age, shrinking of thymus is one reason the immune system tends to become weak. Appendix. For decades, many experts believed the appendix had absolutely no purpose in the human body. It was often described as a useless leftover from evolution. The appendix is a small, finger-shaped pouch. It is located where your small intestine meets your large intestine. In most people, it is about 3 to 4 inches long and roughly the width of a pencil. Because of its tiny size, it was easy to assume it did nothing important. But scientists later discovered that the appendix actually plays a quiet role in your immune system. Bronchi. If your lungs are the breathing powerhouses of the body, then the bronchi are the delivery system that makes breathing possible. These are the two main airways that branch off from your windpipe and carry air directly into each lung. But the bronchi do not stop there. Once inside the lungs, they begin to divide again and again, forming a complex branching network that looks very much like an upside-down tree. This structure is often called the airway tree. In fact, this system branches more than 20 times, creating thousands of smaller tubes known as bronchioles. These tiny passages eventually lead to millions of microscopic air sacs called alveoli, where oxygen finally enters your bloodstream. Altogether, this branching system creates an enormous surface area for gas exchange, roughly the size of a tennis court. The bronchi also have a built-in cleaning system. This cleaning system works constantly, even while you sleep. Brain. The brain is the control center of your entire body, and it is one of the most astonishing biological machines on Earth. It weighs only about 3 pounds, or around 1.4 kilograms, which is roughly the weight of a large grapefruit. But despite being small, it uses about 20% of your body's total energy, even though it makes up only 2% of your body weight. That means your brain uses more energy than any other organ. Inside the brain are about 86 billion neurons. These cells send electrical signals to each other and create trillions of connections called synapses. These connections allow you to think, learn, remember, and feel emotions. Even when you are asleep, your brain never truly shuts down. It keeps controlling vital functions like breathing, heartbeat, and body temperature. During dreaming, some brain areas can even become more active than when you're awake. The brain also uses nearly half of the cholesterol in your body, which helps neurons communicate. Latest research shows that the brain's structure changes throughout life. In young adulthood, connections are formed rapidly, helping with learning and adaptability. As you age, some connections weaken while others strengthen, a process scientists call neuroplasticity. This ability to reorganize itself is one reason humans can continue learning new skills even later in life. Heart. The heart is one of the hardest working organs in your body. It is a powerful biological pump that keeps you alive from your first moment of life to your last. The heart is about the size of your fist, yet it works constantly. It beats around 100,000 times every day. That equals about 35 million beats each year, and over an average lifetime, more than 2.5 billion beats without ever stopping. With each beat, the left side of the heart pushes oxygen-rich blood into the arteries, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. The right side receives oxygen-poor blood and sends it to the lungs to collect fresh oxygen. This creates a continuous loop of circulation. Every day, the heart pumps about 5,000 liters of blood, enough to fill more than 1 million 2-liter soda bottles. Another fascinating fact, your heart can continue beating even when it's no longer in your body, as long as it has an oxygen supply. That's because the heart muscle cells, called cardiomyocytes, are highly specialized for automatic contraction. The heart also has its own electrical system. A group of cells called the sinoatrial node acts as a natural pacemaker, controlling the rhythm of every heartbeat and adjusting it when you move, exercise, or rest. Modern studies also show that heart function is deeply tied to lifestyle. Regular aerobic exercise, such as walking, running, or swimming, can improve heart efficiency and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. In contrast, high blood pressure, smoking, and chronic stress can strain the heart, leading to structural changes over time. Lungs. Your lungs are the breathing engines of your body. You have 2 lungs sitting inside your chest. They are safely protected by your rib cage. Together, they allow you to take around 20,000 to 25,000 breaths every single day. When you inhale, air travels down your windpipe, moves through the bronchi, and then spreads into millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Each lung contains around 300 to 500 million alveoli. Their walls are incredibly thin, only 1 cell thick. If all these alveoli were spread out flat, they would cover about 50 to 75 square meters, roughly the size of a small apartment. About 90% of all nutrient absorption happens here. At rest, your lungs move about 5 to 8 liters of air every minute, but during intense exercise, this amount can increase more than 5 times. And here's something fascinating. Your lungs themselves don't have muscles to move air. Instead, breathing is powered by the diaphragm. From your very first breath at birth to your very last, your lungs perform one of the most important exchanges in your body, delivering oxygen to every cell and removing the waste gas your cells produce. Stomach. Your stomach is a muscular J-shaped organ located in the upper part of your abdomen, just below your rib cage. On average, it can comfortably hold about 1 to 1.5 liters of food and liquid, but when it stretches fully, it can expand to hold up to 4 liters. When you swallow food, it travels down your esophagus and enters the stomach. The stomach does not simply store food, it churns and mixes it. The contractions happen 3 times a minute, slowly grinding food into a thick liquid called chyme. At the same time, the stomach releases hydrochloric acid, creating an extremely acidic environment with a pH between 1.5 and 3.5. This acid helps break down proteins and destroys many harmful bacteria that enter with food. But this acid can damage itself. To protect itself, the stomach produces a thick layer of mucus that coats its inner walls. Without this protective barrier, it can cause ulcers. Food usually stays in the stomach for about 2 to 4 hours, depending on what you eat. Carbohydrates digest faster, while fatty foods take more time. So every time you eat a meal, the stomach begins an incredible transformation. Small intestine and large intestine. After food leaves the stomach, it enters the small intestine. Despite its name, the small intestine is very long. It measures about 6 to 7 meters, or roughly 20 feet. Its job is to finish breaking down food and absorb nutrients into your bloodstream. The inner surface of the small intestine is covered with millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. Each villus has even smaller structures called microvilli. Together, if spread out flat, the surface area would measure about 30 to 40 square meters, roughly the size of a small apartment. About 90% of all nutrient absorption happens here. The large intestine, also called the colon, it is 1.5 meters long, or 5 feet. Its primary role is not digestion, but absorption of water and minerals from the leftover material. After small intestine,
The remaining material moves into the large intestine, where water is absorbed and helpful bacteria continue processing, and what's left before the body eventually removes waste. Liver. Now let's look at one of the most powerful organs in your body, the liver. Your liver is the largest internal organ located on the upper right side of your abdomen. It weighs about 1.3 to 1.5 kilograms. If expands, it is roughly the size of a football. And inside this single organ, more than 500 different functions are happening. Every minute, about 1.5 liters of blood flow through the liver. It filters 25% of your body's blood supply. One of its most important jobs is detoxification. The liver breaks down harmful chemicals into safer substances that the body can remove. It also converts ammonia into urea so the kidneys can safely eliminate it. It also produces bile,
a greenish fluid that helps break down fats during digestion. It stores important vitamins like A, D, E, K, and B12, along with minerals such as iron and copper. The liver also helps control your blood sugar. It stores extra glucose as glycogen and releases it when your body needs energy. And here is what makes the liver truly remarkable. It can regenerate. Even if 70 to 75% of the liver is removed or damaged, the remaining part can grow back to its original size within weeks. Quietly and constantly, your liver cleans your blood, manages energy, supports digestion, and stores vital nutrients that keep your body running. Gallbladder. When the liver produces the bile, it does not send it straight into the intestine. Your body first stores it in the gallbladder. Inside the gallbladder, the bile becomes up to 10 times more concentrated. When you eat a meal, especially one rich in fats, the gallbladder squeezes and releases this stored bile through a small duct into the small intestine. Even if it is just 7 to 10 centimeters long, it can roughly hold 30 to 50 milliliters of fluid. Interestingly, even though the gallbladder helps digestion, people can live without it if it is removed because of gallstones or other problems. And gallstones are actually quite common. Studies estimate that about 10 to 15% of adults worldwide develop gallstones at some point in their lives. Pancreas. Pancreas is located deep behind your stomach. It is soft and about 6 inches long. On first function, it is a major part of your digestive system. Every day, it produces about 1 to 1.5 liters of digestive enzymes. These powerful chemicals travel through a small duct into your small intestine. They split proteins, fats, and carbohydrates into smaller pieces so your body can absorb the nutrients. It works as an endocrine gland. One of the most important is insulin, a hormone that helps your cells absorb glucose from the blood and use it for energy. Together, these hormones keep your blood sugar levels balanced, making sure your body has a steady and reliable supply of energy throughout the day. Kidneys. Your 2 kidneys filter about 180 liters of fluid from your blood in 24 hours. That's nearly 45 gallons. It is located on each side of your spine just below the rib cage. Each one is about the size of a fist. They remove waste and extra water, producing about 1 to 2 liters of urine. Inside each kidney are about 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. These microscopic structures carefully separate waste from useful substances. The kidneys help control blood pressure by regulating fluid balance and releasing hormones like renin. They also produce erythropoietin, a hormone that stimulates the production of red blood cells. At the same time, they also maintain sodium, potassium, and calcium, which are essential for nerve signals and muscle contractions. Spleen. The spleen is located under your rib cage on the upper left side of your abdomen, just behind your stomach. It's about the size of a clenched fist and usually weighs around 150 to 200 grams. Even though it is small, it plays a powerful role in your immune system. One of the spleen's main jobs is to filter your blood. Every day, it carefully monitors the blood flowing through it, removing old or damaged red blood cells.
Red blood cells usually live for about 120 days, and when they become worn out, the spleen breaks them down and recycles useful parts like iron, so your body can use them again. Thyroid. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland located at the base of your neck. It weighs less than 25 grams. It's the main metabolic control centers. The thyroid produces two important hormones called thyroxine, T4, and triiodothyronine, T3. These hormones travel through your bloodstream and reach nearly every cell in your body. Their job is to control how fast your cells turn nutrients into energy. If thyroid hormone levels rise too high, your metabolism speeds up. If they drop too low, everything in the body begins to slow down. Scientists estimate that thyroid hormones influence the activity of over 30 trillion cells in the human body. To produce these hormones, the thyroid needs iodine, a mineral found in foods like seafood, dairy, and iodized salt. If the body doesn't get enough iodine, it can cause goiter. Studies suggest that around 200 million people worldwide live with some form of thyroid imbalance. Skin. Skin is the largest organ in your entire body. Your skin forms a protective shield between your body and the outside world. In an average adult, it covers about 1.5 to 2 square meters, or roughly 20 square feet. Altogether, it can weigh around 4 to 5 kilograms. Even though it looks simple on the outside, the skin is actually a complex system made of 3 layers: the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. Your skin also works like a natural cooling system. When your body gets too warm, sweat glands release moisture, which cools your body as it evaporates. At the same time, blood vessels in the skin expand to release heat. The skin is also packed with millions of nerve endings. These tiny sensors allow you to feel touch, pressure, pain, and temperature. Your fingertips are especially sensitive, able to detect extremely small surface textures. Another amazing feature is that your skin is constantly renewing itself. Every minute, your body sheds about 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells. Over the course of a year, that adds up to nearly 4 kilograms of shed skin. After auditing your entire body, which organ do you think is doing the most work right now? Is it your heart, your brain, or your hard-working liver? Let us know in the comments. We read every single one. And if you learned something new, hit the like button to help this video reach more curious humans.